Yo, yo, yo. Red lips back to the channel. I didn't have time today to try and fix the colors, so you're going to have to deal with the clown lips, all right? Uh, Whoa, dude. Composite Man is alive. Look at this freaking sell off. Oh my goodness. What a beautiful day in the markets. Um, Look, I'll admit that I wasn't as bearish as I should have been going into this. Obviously, going into a CPI report, it's a bit of a coin toss, but we knew that we were in this rising wedge. So the likelihood was that we were going to have some sort of fake out in futures, which was going to lead to a sell off. And that's exactly what we saw. I was pretty much calling for like the 400-ish level on SPY, but obviously we have broken below that now. SPY is now trading down at $393, down over 4% on the day. An incredible influence this guy Powell has on the market, it seems, but also very technical, this move. I mean, I was just telling my fiance about this. She's not really into stocks and stuff like that, but I was just trying to conceptualize the power of Composite Man within this market, and it's honestly insane just to see how this guy's speech perfectly lines up with a pump in futures and then a test of the top of this rising wedge right before this breakdown and out of this rising wedge. It is absolutely incredible. And right now it looks like ES1, which is futures, SPX futures, is finding support on this trend line that we've had drawn for a while. Let me make sure this is correct. Oh yeah, we're on lower time frame, so I was confused. But yeah, we've had this trend line drawn from the bottom on June 17th, as well as the bottom on July 14th. We broke down below it briefly, but now it looks like we're finding support, at least temporarily, on this. I will say it's really hard to read and understand exactly when support is going to come in, and you're going to see a reversal happen. This Fibonacci retracement is where you would be able to detect some of those levels. Let me hide this one temporarily so it's a little bit easier to see what I'm talking about. How do I do that shit? How do I? Okay, I guess I gotta go over here. All right, so yeah, so you're down to a 786 here. Right now, this would be qualified as a 786 retracement. Perhaps you could measure it off of this initial move. Doesn't look as good in that way. So yeah, I would say from the bottom is the best way to measure it right now. 786, you're finding support in the 3945 on ES1. Let's see what that looks like on SPX. I will say here, having this rising wedge here, well, you found support. Now you're retracing on this move. This is a new move. But you could say that this is an A wave with a B wave retracement. Let's see. I actually kind of like that. Fail at your 0.5 Fibonacci. And now you have a further retracement. So these are the scenarios and the levels that I'll be watching. Look, overall, like on SPY, you have a breakdown and you're retesting this trend line now. But on ES1, which I would say is the better chart to be watching at the moment, just because there's more trading that occurs on ES1 versus SPY in total, right, on a day-to-day basis, you are finding support on this same trend line. These are the games that they play, man. Like, because this looks bearish while this looks bullish. It's so deceptive, man. Like, Composite Man is like no joke, bro. I'm telling you. But overall, this is a 786 retracement. I feel pretty good about the possibility of you at least having some relief. But I would say that I like to see the price rounding out. I'm not trading either side of this right now. Like I'm gonna kind of wait for confirmation. Gonna miss out on a move or something, but like the risk to reward is just too high right now to try and decide, especially with market closing a few minutes ago here. Because overnight you're gonna have a much more decisive look as to how you're trading along this trend line. And again, that's not an accident either, right? So if you see futures kind of fiddling around and rounding out along this trend line, then I would expect somewhat of a relief bounce, perhaps up to this like 398 level here. What that would look like on SPY is, and I mean, that would be pretty bullish for SPY actually. Yeah, so what that would look like on SPY is like you probably would open pretty much on this trend line, and then perhaps you have a nice move to the upside, boom, and you move up to like this 397 liquidity zone, which makes sense because that's kind of this last point of support / supply. What I'll say is, if you fail this midline, and let's draw this midline on ES1 as well. If you fail that midline, though, I don't want to be too zoomed in, so maybe it's good for us to zoom out anyway. If you fail, let me take these EMAs off, or moving averages, sorry. How would I draw the midline on ES1? I'd say a good starting point would be here. See, yeah, I mean, this is pretty strong, actually. It's a little bit harder to draw this midline on ES1. Let's see. Where do I have it? Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, see on ES1 you're actually not in bad shape on this midline. Let me make it look the same. Zoom back in, see what it looks like now. Yeah, I'm still not overly bearish. I think that you can even afford to break down below this trend line on ES1 and still be in relatively bullish territory. Now, if you test this trend line and you fail again, and honestly, my bias is bearish. Let me be fully like clear here. Breaking down here, testing these lower levels like this, like on a broader spectrum, to me, this appears like you want to continue your retracement down to those 382 levels that we talked about before. Probably this fib. Yeah, so even if you retrace up here to like 403 on SPY, I am still expecting the totality of this move to bring you at least down to 381, okay? That's fully what I'm expecting. We talked about 400 yesterday, and the reason that we talked about 400 was because we were pulling the bottom. And I think that we added a little bit higher than this, like at like 418 or something, based on the way that the pattern was looking at that point. But yeah, we were talking about this Fibonacci range. You broke right through the golden pocket, right through the 707 on this. To me, that's a glaring signal that this retracement, like this is actually going to end up being an extension down to this lower level. So I'm fully expecting that. It might fiddle around beforehand, burn up some premium and options, et cetera, et cetera. You might trade around in this red range that we have here, but I'm fully expecting you to, in the course of the next few weeks, months, whatever, before you make a new high on this 415, I think this is a local high, you're going to see a lower low to 381. And analyzing after today is really tough. Like you're not going to have this big old rush down here. You have to see price start to round out a little bit before you can start saying, yeah, we're going to see a reversal here or there or whatever. It becomes more difficult on a broader spectrum. Like, I mean, for the next like few weeks where you're going to see that initial bounce. Perhaps we could pull. Yeah, I mean, you just blasted through all your levels here. I mean, you're sitting on an 885. Well, you bounced off your 885 here, so perhaps you could say that you're getting a relief bounce here locally, but 885 is uncharacteristic. Usually it's a 707, and if you're doing a deeper than normal retracement, that's a bearish signal. So I'm expecting 381 within the next 2 weeks, in my opinion. Not financial advice. Don't buy options based on what I say here. So looking at Bitcoin here, We actually yesterday in the video were talking about this Fibonacci here. We were actually projecting a little bit, so we had it up here at the time because that's where it was when the video closed. But pretty much we had the same idea here, where I was saying, look, it's starting to weaken up here. You're probably going to get a retracement. That's exactly what you got here. You broke through this 20,500 level, and we were targeting the 618 retracement. If you want to check me, whatever, make sure that I'm telling the truth, whatever. I believe that it would be towards the end of the video, because I think I talked about SPY and stuff for the first 20 minutes. So you can go fact check me or whatever. Comment down below and let me know how wrong I was about that. I guess I could edit it in, right? But I don't do that. So I'd say pretty much same kind of deal here. I do think that like this chart kind of looks like you're going to get this kind of relief move back up to 25 and then probably come back down here and retest this key range here. So that's what I think, and then you're going to want to look for a break to either direction to determine what the next move is. But I'm not really here to I'm not bullish or bearish on this. I think that overall the chart looks okay. I know that I said that I was relatively optimistic on crypto in general, but this is not the worst chart in the world. I will say though that you probably have some rounding out to do before you can really get bullish on this. So you're going to want to see it's going to spike up. You're going to probably get a lower low here locally. You're going to want to see the price round out from there. Ethereum pretty much holding the trading range that we were talking about yesterday, which would be these two thick straight white lines that we had drawn here. You are back into your trading range, so if you want to say that this is accumulation, it's going to be really key that you maintain higher lows. We'll draw this trend line here. This again, I don't mind Ethereum's chart. Like, I feel like Ethereum is relatively strong compared to the market right now. Like, every time I look at the chart, I keep looking at and seeing this local strength in this range. And I'm completely not like biased. If it breaks down below 1551 or so from here, then it's pretty bearish. But this chart just seems to be holding its weight a little bit better than everything else recently. I mean, that's just my opinion on it. Is that like me saying, oh, it's gonna pump to like fucking $4,000 tomorrow or whatever? No, not necessarily. I think that honestly, looking at this on a broader spectrum, though, it looks like it does want to come back down and test into this trading range, but it just seems to be holding up here like better than expected over and over again. So I'd be watching just generally this range, just 236, 1719 to 1551, looking for a strong break of a trend through one of those Fibonacci. So maybe draw it like this, like it's like a don't have a bias. Let it be range bound. Oh no, not the fib. We want the fib. We just don't want the weird drawing line. Yeah, so we'll change the color of this to like a light blue. We'll put this here. Change this green line. So yeah, I would say like this is pretty obviously right. If you break down here, you're gonna go through to your 1427 level, right? And then from there, we're gonna reassess, see what the support looks like on that solid horizontal line there, and then from there, that's where we would make the determination of whether or not you're gonna go back and test that liquidity now, because you totally could just break through here and then make a higher high before you do that. I am still generally bearish, but like locally. I'm going to be looking for those sorts of opportunities. I'm going to be looking for market wide the sort of relief opportunities after a day like today. But it is weird how well Ethereum has held up, especially during this Powell speech. Like, I don't know. With to me, if SPY goes down 4%, if you told me, like, you just blind, you told me, hey, SPY is down 4% in the market condition that crypto has been in, I would say, you're like, how low do you think Ethereum went? I would be looking at you like, yeah, Ethereum probably like is down 20%, like, because crypto has been so bad lately, right? So, but still, it just seems like it's holding this range so well. So I don't know. Just be watching these trend lines. Draw trend lines. Don't be overly convicted to either side, and get confirmation on your move, and then play the move. Looking at AMC run of the mill. This looks relatively strong as well. Like, what is it? It's only down 4.8%. Like, if you told me, dude, SPY dumped like 4+% today. How much do you think AMC retraced? I'd be like, 15%. But instead it's 4.8%, and I mean, this just speaks to that structure that we were talking about, how you just have this beautiful rounding out that's occurring on AMC here. And it really just wants to trade this Fibonacci range. I do think that you probably come down, test this trend line again, but I think overall the trend is up. I don't know. That's just how I feel. Like, this just looks like this is what's going to happen to me. Now, if you fail, right, then the story is a little different, but I think that that's the likelihood. Yeah. So maybe tomorrow might be the next 2 days might be some good days to pick up some calls. Personally, not financial advice. If you see some supporting volume, the volume's so weak on this push down, like, this is not what's getting sold today. Put it that way. Ape. Same thing. This looks like a falling wedge. I guarantee you it's a falling wedge forming right here. Yeah, I mean, this is like again, dude. Tell me, with something that's been as volatile as Ape has, look, I'm not here, like, you guys know that I'm not sitting here trying to make AMC and Ape people happy by telling them that they're more bullish than they actually are. Historically, that is something that I don't do ever. But this chart, if you told me that SPY dumped 4%, and you said, how much do you think Ape? I'd be like, 20% minimum? Like, but that's not what's occurring. Like, overnight, and in total 12%, like, that's, and look, you have good structure here. You're rounding out. You're even gapping up out of this rising wedge right now, which is odd. But I still think that you probably retest this, but this just looks healthy structurally. And again, I could be proven wrong. Dude, I can't tell you how many freaking falling wedges I saw SPY break down out of today, because, that was the game today. That was the game. Let's see if we can get a wedge here. Maybe do ES1 instead. Lower time frames. Let's just see if we can see some rounding out occurring, maybe down on the minute chart. Yeah, I mean, this is... I was saying here, I did like the way that this looked, and then you had this move up, but you just didn't get the volume come in to support you, and you got freaking pooped on, I'm not going to lie. Let's see. Yeah, I really don't like this, actually. Okay, descending broadening wedge. You have a correlation down here at this fib, 39.15. I don't know. This is a tough spot for this chart. Yeah, it looks like a bear channel. Actually, this looks like a bearish. I don't know. Descending broadening wedge. I don't really trade these patterns that much. But I do think that this does actually look kind of good here. Yeah, this correlates with what I said earlier, right? You're gonna come up and yeah, that's pretty much what's gonna happen. So you swoop down, you're gonna come up and test this sort of like 400-ish level next few days. That's what's gonna happen most likely. I mean, I guess you could get rejected down, but I just don't see. Look, it's a guy. I just don't see the continued panic being the thing. But hey, look, that's what I was saying back here as well after this Powell speech, and that panic just kept panicking, boy. And it took us a while to get this good structure that I called out for this move up. So, obviously, come to your own conclusions, come to your own convictions. Let's go see that guy one more time though, because he's kind of cute. Look at it. He's like dancing in the broadening wedge. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so that's pretty much the video. Oh man, if you enjoyed the video with the red lips, I'm gonna fix it tomorrow. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you like the video and you comment your thoughts down below on the world absolutely ending. Until next time. Look, I can make myself big. Big red lips. Peace. Dude, I swear my lips are pink. Maybe it's contrast. Like, you know what I should do? I should make myself, I should just, make myself black and white. And then just really sharp, really dramatic look. Like this is what Composite Man looks like. He's like, I'm going to ruin your 401k. All right, peace. Have a good day.